And radio check. So yeah, we are live. It's time to go racing around the track at Shanghai. The formation lap is now underway, and about the starting tires for the drivers, I will run you through which drivers starting on which tires. So everyone from Piastri onwards, till Alonso in P13, is starting on a set of mediums. Stroll, Behrman, and Lawson are the ones starting on hards, and the rest of the field is on the mediums as well. So apart from the three drivers, everyone is opting for mediums. Obviously, Liam Lawson starting from the pit lane because of some setup changes made to his car overnight. Anyways, Liam was gonna start P20. So yeah, it was a sensible decision to maybe make some changes and make the car a bit more drivable for Liam, because throughout this whole weekend, looking at his onboards, all his laps, it very much seems like he's not able to even connect to the car and drive it in a straight line. Because in sprint quali he qualified last. In the main qualifying he qualified last, which is sorry, I the audio was left on as well. In the sprint quali he qualified last. In the main quali he qualified last as well. So not an ideal scenario for Red Bull there. So Lawson starting from the pit lane. But out at front, we have Oscar Piastri starting on pole for the first time in his Formula One career. Alongside him is George Russell, who I think is kind of a underdog performance throughout this whole, I mean, the season. It's only the second race, but in Australia, he had a good silent P3 podium. No one noticed him in the sprint as well. I think he was P4. Today also he's starting in P2. So till now it's been a good season for George Russell starting in P2 and Norris in P3. So yeah, for McLaren's sake, they will be hoping that Lando overtakes George as soon as possible, and then they can sort it out by using papaya rules, which will be in the favor of the team, which at least the team believe. In P4, we have Max Verstappen. Again, a good qualifying considering his teammate is starting dead last in the pit lane. So, yeah. P5 and P6 are the Ferraris. A bit disappointed with the qualifying, surely, because um, they were they got pole position in the sprint quali. So yeah, starting P5 and P6 wouldn't be the ideal scenario for Ferrari. And yeah, the drivers are lining up on the grid, and it's time for race start here at China. Lawson enters the pit lane, and the last driver lines up on the grid. So it's the green flag is waving at the rear end, and it's one, two, three, four, five. It's lights out and away we go. It's a good start for George Russell, who's already alongside Oscar Piastri and trying to go around the inside. George Russell, Oscar Piastri, wheel to wheel. Oscar Piastri swoops around the outside. Lando Norris tries to overtake George Russell around the outside and does so. Lando Norris overtakes George Russell and moves up into P2. George Russell drops down a place at the start to P3. Max Verstappen drops down 2 places to Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton in P4 and Charles Leclerc moves up to P5. Then we have Kimi Antonelli running in P7, Yuki Tsunoda gaining a place in P8, and Isaac Haja P9, and Esteban Ocon P10. George Russell tries to come back at Lando Norris into turn 4, but unable to do so. Further back, Lewis Hamilton tries to lunge over George Russell, but it's in vain. George Russell round the inside of the fast corner, but yeah, lifts and lets Lando Norris live for another day. So it was a good start for Lando Norris, who already moved up to P2. George Russell tried to overtake Oscar Piastri, but in doing so, instead lost the place to Lando Norris. It was a great start for Ferraris. P5 and P6 already overtook Max Verstappen at the start, which is quite good for them, to be honest. As into Sector 2 we go, it's Oscar Piastri leading by almost 8 tenths over Lando Norris. Russell sits Verstappen radio. Verstappen is saying maybe there can be a broken front wing, which is not what Red Bull and Verstappen will really want here. Going through sector 3, the long back straight, it's Piastri from Norris, from Russell for Hamilton, Leclerc, Verstappen, and Antonelli. Verstappen putting some pressure on Charles Leclerc, waves left, waves right, but he has nothing doing it. Leclerc defends his position. He is the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso trying to overtake Pierre Gasly, sorry, Alex Albon, who has already lost a position at the start. As the driver start lap 2, it's Oscar Piastri leading by 7 tenths over Lando Norris. And as I was saying at the start of the stream, this is the most ideal scenario for McLaren because starting P1 and P3 is never a good thing because you have a and it's yellow flag. I'm not sure what has happened. It's yellow flag. I will just run you through when I'm able to know as well. But yeah, as I was saying, it's the most ideal scenario that McLaren would have hoped for at the start of the race, overtaking George Russell. Now they are P1 and P2, so they can sort it out themselves. Whichever driver is quicker can take the lead and run away, or if a driver is slower, they will be told to hold back. I think Bortoleto has spun looking at the track map. Cannot see on the screen at the moment because the net here is, I don't know, drastically very slow today. So I'm not able to even see a thing on the screen. But yeah, race control, DRS unable. So DRS is now unable. But interestingly, Lando Norris is already out of DRS range of Oscar Piastri. But George Russell currently has DRS on Lando Norris and is gaining around the back straight, but the straight falls short by a car length and a half. Crossing the line, Oscar Piastri leads by 1.1 seconds, just outside of DRS range from Lando Norris. George Russell now sets the fastest lap of the race and will dearly love to reclaim the lost position. Further back, Lewis Hamilton, who was the winner of the sprint race yesterday, is already out of DRS range of George Russell. So maybe a setup change for Ferrari hasn't gone in the right direction here. Charles Leclerc, Lewis's teammate, is again 1.2 seconds further back. Then we have Verstappen, who is within DRS range, and Kimi Antonelli in the top 7. Liam Lawson, who started from the pit lane, is currently running in P18. I think there is maybe some kind of loss on Charles Leclerc's car. I was not 10 to 20 points loss. I'm not that technical kind of guy, so didn't understand a thing. But yeah, Leclerc said, okay, we can live up to it till the first pit stop. That is the main thing. And interestingly, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris, the gap at front is 1.1 seconds. Does Lando Norris has DRS on this lap? It would be very crucial, or else Oscar Piastri will very easily run away with this race win. George Russell has DRS on Lando Norris and is gaining, but again, the straight falls short. And further back, Liam Lawson moves up a place into P17, which is quite good for the sake of Liam here. What has happened to Fernando Alonso? I'm not sure. Why is he running so down? I think maybe he has crashed with someone. Alonso, Alonso, who is currently running in P12. I will just see on the screen. There is a bit of 10-15 seconds delay here. Alonso P12 is closely followed by a driver in P13 and Alpine. Uh, it's Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly, Fernando Alonso through turns 2 and 3. Gasly very barely looking to overtake Fernando Alonso. I think they might have collided. And here, oh, there's some problem for Alonso. I think there's a problem for Alonso. I don't know why he's slowing down. He might be retiring, I guess, here, Fernando Alonso. The last time Fernando Alonso retired from a race was in 2017. The garage, the mechanics in the Aston Martin garage are, I think, getting ready to collect Fernando Alonso here. Okay, brake failure for Fernando. It's brake failure for Fernando Alonso, and unfortunately, he is now out of the Chinese Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the race chart once again, as I have it on the screen. Lando Norris, sorry, Oscar Piastri and George Russell had a great start. George Russell tried to go round the inside, which is assumably not the preferred line here in Shanghai. It's like mostly you swoop round the outside of turn one. And so Oscar Piastri swooped round the outside and regained the position. But in doing so, George Russell was hampered and stuck round in the inside line, which gave advantage to Lando Norris, who eventually took the P2 position from George there. So both the McLarens working in harmony there, 1 and 2 at the moment. Russell in P3. Further back, we'll now take a look at Max's race start as well, who was kind of squeezed between the two Ferraris and had nowhere to go. So had to scrub off a lot of speed so that he can make the corner. On board with Lewis Hamilton, who started fifth and is now fourth. Max Verstappen trying to go the longest way around the outside. Lewis Hamilton surprisingly went down the inside, and to avoid Lewis, Max had to slow down a bit. And in doing so, oh, there's front wing damage for Leclerc. Okay, so the thing Leclerc was talking was now I understand. Whilst overtaking Max Verstappen into turn one, Charles Leclerc hit Lewis's rear tire and collected some rear front wing damage. That's why he was talking on the radio that can you be able to survive and said yes, I can at least survive to the first stop. Luckily for Ferrari, it was not very disastrous because in some cases we have seen in the past if a driver collides with the front wing to the rear tire, it's most probably a puncture. But Lewis Hamilton survives them, and lucky for Ferrari there. In doing so, Max Verstappen was just had nowhere to go and lost two places. He is Gabriel Bortoleto, The yellow flag that was caused, oh, spun out on his own, spun out on his own into the gravel, but was lucky to keep the engine running and yeah, still in the race, but is 25 seconds off his teammate Nico Hulkenberg. So we'll surely need a safety car or something like that for his race to be something better. As Fernando Alonso rolls into the pit lane with a brake failure and is the first retirement of the Chinese Grand Prix. Another yellow flag, and don't know what's happening today. Why is there so much yellow flags, to be honest? And in whilst we're focusing at the race start, out at front, Lando Norris is now gaining over Oscar Piastri. The gap between the two McLarens is now less than 7 tenths, and Lando Norris will be looking and will be daily hoping to stay within DRS range of Oscar Piastri. Because more Norris stays behind Piastri's car, more it will hurt his tire because of the dirty air. So yeah, for his sake, he will try to overtake Oscar as soon as possible. But in the middle sector, Oscar Piastri gained almost 3 tenths over Lando Norris. Let's see if he has DRS. Currently, gap is 1.0 seconds. It will be interesting to see if Norris has DRS. I don't think he will. No, Lando Norris is out of DRS range of Oscar Piastri. So yeah, that was amazing pushing there from Oscar Piastri. Just by the barest of all margins, I think it was maybe half a tenth there. Lando Norris still unable to get within DRS range of Oscar Piastri. In the meantime, thank you very much everyone who tuned in. Please don't forget to like the stream and subscribe the channel. It really helps and motivates me a lot. So yeah. At the battle at the rear end, here we have Ollie Behrman and Jack Doohan. Behind him is Liam Lawson. Looking at these two drivers, I have just one question in mind. Doohan and Lawson. Which driver will be fired first? See, at the start of the season, it was a narrative that Franco Colapinto had signed a 5-year deal with Alpine, and I'm sure that no driver signs a 5-year reserve driver deal for the team. So it was speculated that within 3 to 4 races, it will be Jack Doohan's end of Formula One career, and Liam Lawson would be very easily, not like very easily, but still will be able to make it through the whole season. But now, at the moment, the narrative of the season is Doohan is doing okay, not the absolute best, currently running in P16, his teammate is P12. But Liam Lawson, oh dear, oh dear, how awful his season has been. When he replaced Sergio Perez at the end of last Sunoda radio, okay, so Sunoda on the radio is saying, I want to use more fronts, that is, you want to push a bit more. But the team says, no, you don't need to. But Sunoda replies, no, I want to. So the team says, okay, you do what you feel is right. So, yeah, as I was saying about Liam Lawson, not the ideal, not the, it's the worst possible start you would have imagined. When he was replacing Sergio Perez, a lot of people were quite optimistic looking at his performances. Comparing to Yuki Tsunoda in the V Carb or RB, it was like, okay, he's not a Verstappen better, but he will be still a much better replacement for Sergio Perez. But as soon as he entered the season, first race was a disaster. In the sprint quali, he qualified P20, and in the main quali, he qualified P20 as well. So yeah, if the thing stays as they are, I think till the time of the summer, Hamilton radio. Okay, Hamilton is saying he's experiencing a bit of graining at the front left, which is quite normal as Shanghai is an clockwise circuit. So in a clockwise circuit, the front left experiences a lot of load. So yeah, as we saw in the sprints, the graining phase is like around 3 to 4 laps, but then as the phase progresses, drivers are able to get to speed more. So talking of Lawson, as I said, not the ideal start he would have hoped for. Next race in Suzuka, I think should be much better for him because he has previously driven in the Super Formula there. If you guys might be aware, before he was racing in Formula One, Liam Lawson was racing in a series called Norris Radio. I'm starting to struggle left front. Yeah, same again. Norris experiencing the graining phase as well. So the drivers around lap 12 to 13 will start experiencing that bit of graining, but I'm sure it will. As the graining phase progresses, the speed will again come back to the drivers in a lap or two. As Charles Leclerc here has DRS on his teammate Lewis Hamilton, For the first time this weekend, I'm seeing Leclerc and Hamilton so close because throughout the weekend, Lewis has had Charles Leclerc under control and under cover. But now Leclerc with DRS, Lewis suffering with graining. So Leclerc is gaining here on Lewis Hamilton. Talking of Lawson, the next race at Japan, Liam Lawson in past has raced in a category called as Super Formula, which almost races in tracks based in Japan and has a lot of races at Suzuka. So yeah, if Lawson is not able to perform even in the next race, I think his time might be over in Formula One sooner rather than later. But if he is able to perform, I think it would be very good for his and Red Bull's sake as well. Because see, Albon Radio. Okay, so on the radio, Albon Sendina is saying we are happy with the tires, and Albon in reply says, "Yes, I am good. I'm good. We are better than everyone else, and I'm quite comfortable at the moment." Um, but yeah, if Lawson, we are not able to complete that topic every time. If Lawson performs next weekend, which is sure to be better for his and Red Bull's sake, because see, the only options Red Bull currently has are now Sunoda and Hadja. Colapinto is an outside deal, which I don't think Red Bull will be opting or eyeing for. But from Sunoda and Hadja, I think that see Hadja is only in his second Formula One race, and you cannot directly promote him to a Red Bull, which will be quite catastrophic for his confidence. And Red Bull don't believe in Sunoda because see, if they would have believed in Sunoda, Sunoda has been in Formula One for 4 seasons now, and he is in his fifth season at the moment. Still, he didn't get the promotion for Red Bull, which means that Red Bull are maybe not as confident with the ability of Sunoda. See, Christian on we are on plan A says also Piastri. In the past, Christian Horner has said there is no doubt about Yuki's pace. The thing that's concerning is his temperament on the radio. So yeah, Red Bull are not confident with Sunoda. Haja is still a young deal, and if Lawson is not able to perform, I think it will be quite a disastrous thing for Red Bull, to be honest. So yeah, next race will be a crucial benchmark for you, Liam Lawson. If he's unable to perform quite well there, I think it will be quite disastrous. Looking at the Ferrari battle here, Lewis Hamilton has pulled off ahead a bit from Charles Leclerc. The gap between them is now almost 9 tenths or 2 tenths more than the previous lap. So yeah, I think Lewis Hamilton might have negated through the graining phase at the moment. Out at front, Oscar Piastri. Okay, so Leclerc is saying we'll stay on plan A. Maybe the one stop or the medium to hard. Let's see what plan A is because Ferrari, we all know, are famous for the alphabets of plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. So yeah, plan A for Charles and maybe plan B for Lewis. Let's see how they pan out. As I was saying, out at front, Oscar Piastri is now slowly but steadily increasing the lead at front. On the last lap, Piastri gained by almost 4 tenths for Lando Norris, which maybe suggests me two things. Either Lando is struggling with tire graining at the moment, or because he has been running behind Oscar's turbulent air for a long, long time. Or maybe another thing is he might be dropping back a little bit to maybe preserve his tires and maybe attack in the upcoming laps, Leclerc radio. Okay, so Leclerc's engineer in response has said, if we stick to plan A, we'll need to face a lot of traffic in the upcoming laps. So I think plan A might be going for an undercut strategy like pitting before your rival and then gaining with the fresher tires. But in defense, Leclerc's engineer is saying that if we stick to plan A, we'll need to face a lot of traffic. So we stick to plan B, plan B. So maybe plan A is an undercut strategy and plan B seems to be a overcut strategy for Ferrari. Lap 12 of 56, Lando Norris gained a little bit on Oscar Piastri, like half a tenth on the previous lap. George Russell is running in a decent pace, not matching the McLarens, but still is bit quicker than Ferraris in P4 and P5. Hamilton running in P4, which who is 2 seconds adrift of Russell in P3. Charles Leclerc, still with DRS, is not able to overtake Lewis Hamilton because of the front wing damage. I think Piastri radio. Okay, so McLaren are now discussing about Plan C, and by the looks of it, Plan C looks to me as going longer and pitting later because he was asked about the target lap. So maybe I think Plan C is going for a long overcut and then at the end, chucking on a set of fresh hard tires and then absolutely sending it. Here is Yuki Tsunoda in the pits. So is Ocon and Doohan as well. 2.8 second stop for Ocon, 2.1 second stops for Tsunoda, and 2.7 second stops for Doohan as they roll out on the track on a set of hard tires. So the pit lane is now open. The pit window for a one-stop strategy. Uh, that is for a set of medium tires now open within a lap or two. So let's see which of the front runner, because they are not quite close in an undercut window, like 2 seconds is the gap between first, second, third, and fourth. So yeah, not exactly in an undercut window, but maybe a lap or two. Uh, 2 laps of undercut can be quite strong around here because with every passing lap, because of the newer tarmac, the track keeps on ramping up. So yeah, let's see who of the front runner is the first one to blink. As here is Charles Leclerc, much more closer to Lewis Hamilton on this lap, but still the straight is a bit too short for the Scuderia of Leclerc and stays in P5. So yeah, Ferrari not matching their performances as they were able to give in the sprint. In the sprint, they were absolutely rapid on a set of medium tires. Lewis Hamilton, I think, won by something around 7 seconds as compared to Oscar Piastri. So yeah, not the thing Ferrari would have been hoping for, but still P4 and P5 much more better as compared to what they had in Melbourne. As we have Kimi Antonelli and Isaac Hadjar in the pits, both on a set of hard tires, a 2.7 second stop for Antonelli and a bit slow for Hadjar, 3.1 seconds. Both of them out on track on a set of hard tires. And here is, who was that? Yuki Tsunoda with an undercut strategy overtakes Kimi Antonelli and moves up to P13, which I think is a provisional P7 at the moment. So yeah, Tsunoda pitting 2 laps earlier than Kimi Antonelli, and the undercut strategy has worked. So yeah, undercut is quite strong down here, but you need to like balance between undercut and tire delta because if you pit quite earlier, by the end stages, your tire might drop off quite rapidly, and we all know that. Leclerc radio. Okay, Leclerc's engineer is saying these laps are good, uh, which is quite good for Ferrari. But as I was saying, you need to make a balance between pitting earlier and preserving your tires for the end of the race, as Hamilton has been set to box. So Lewis Hamilton now into the pits. As I was saying, if you pit quite early, this might okay. Verstappen in the pits as well. If you pit quite early, what effect might it have is you might run out of tires at the end of the race, which is not you would want. And pitting later will mean that you might be undercut by your rival. So yeah, it's quite a tricky thing to be honest. As both Hamilton and Verstappen are in the pits, good stuff for both the teams. Let's see where Lewis pans out. Lewis comes out on track in P10 and Max Verstappen is in P11. Now I think surely Leclerc will be pitting this lap as well because Ferrari won't like to lose a lot with the second driver. Piastri is set to box as well, so Piastri will be in the pits at the end of this lap, and Leclerc stays out. Leclerc stays out, so I think maybe Ferrari are going with a different strategy with the likes of Leclerc and Norris, because ideally I think it would have been ideal for Charles to pit on the next lap. Russell radio. Uh, Russell is saying on the radio that I think it's going to be a one stop, which seems quite obvious because still with the graining and degrading tires, the teams are able to produce some good laps, which suggests to me that a one stop is very much truly possible. Here's Kimi Antonelli. Like the sprint, still stuck behind Yuki Tsunoda, and I think he would like to overtake Tsunoda as soon as it's humanly possible because he's really hampering Kimi's progress here. Let's see what he's able to do here. Kimi, he will have DRS on this back straight as Piastri in the pits. A bit slow stop for Piastri. 3.8 seconds, so maybe a point and 8 seconds slower than what they would have loved. I think it's an ideal scenario for Norris to come and pit and take advantage because gap between them was 2.2. And if Norris has a good stop, I think he will be right within DRS range of Piastri there. Kimi Antonelli trying to overtake Yuki Tsunoda, but in doing so is instead overtaken by Esteban Ocon there. So yeah, not ideal there for Antonelli, who in his sprint race as well was stuck behind Tsunoda, and still in this main race also is not able to negate the likes of Tsunoda. I think on this current lap, who is this? He is George Russell, trying to make a move on Ollie Behrman so that he can make his undercut strategy works, and it does so. Moves up into P7 with the fastest lap of the race. George Russell. Next up, he has Carlos Sainz on a set of medium tires. I think Norris and Leclerc might pit at the end of this lap because, considering this strategy, I think it will be very ideal for them to pit on this lap, or else they might lose a lot of track time. Here is Esteban Ocon going onto the grass to overtake Kimi Antonelli. That was a brilliant and ballsy move there from the Frenchman. But as I was saying, the main thing to be noted here is as the likes of Piastri and Norris and all those pit, they will definitely come out in a lot of dirty air, which won't be very ideal for them. As see, a lot of the not a lot, 3 to 4 drivers started on a set of hard tires, and some medium runners might even extend their stop. So yeah, it won't be very ideal for you to pit into traffic. Let's see when Norris pans out as Norris is into the pits. A bit slow stop for McLaren. Here is the Williams. Here is Piastri. Here is Fernando Alonso. And here is George Russell. George Russell and Lando Norris wheel to wheel at the pit exit. It's this battle is for track position. George Russell round the outside with warmer set of tires. Overtakes Norris and now moves up into P4. The driver ahead of Russell is now Stroll. Russell would very much love to overtake Stroll as soon as possible and create a gap between himself and Norris into turn 4 there. George Russell down the inside overtakes Lance Stroll and moves up to P3. Norris now looking to clear Stroll as soon as possible. Round the outside of this fast corner, wheel to wheel. Lando Norris overtakes Lance Stroll and moves up into P4. So yeah, in the cycle of pit stops, George Russell, as I was saying, undercut is quite strong around this track. George Russell has gained a place over Lando Norris. I think the gap between them was around 3 seconds, but Russell pitting 3 to 4 laps earlier has now gained a position on Lando Norris. But I think it will be quite difficult for him to defend his position because the McLaren seems to have the edge over the rivals at the moment. Here is Lewis Hamilton. The driver in front of him is Liam Lawson. Easy move, late braking, and moves up into P7. Here is Charles Leclerc with his broken front wing trying to overtake Ollie Behrman and does so. Leclerc moves up to P8, Hamilton to P7, which is currently a net P4 and P5 on track. Uh, Charles Leclerc still within DRS range of Lewis Hamilton, but as I said, the dirty air around this track is quite strong and it makes overtaking a bit more difficult than some other tracks. Also, see, the main thing is there's a huge DRS zone which helps in aids in overtaking. But the first and the second sector are so much twisty and turny that a driver in the dirty air almost loses like around 6 to 7 tenths. So all the gains made with the help of DRS are all lost in that first to second sector, which is not at all ideal. Uh, as let's take a look back at the battle in Russell and Norris there. Norris pans out of the pits ahead of George Russell, but Russell with the faster outside line to turn one and fresher set of tires overtakes why am I always getting confused between Piastri and Norris? Overtakes Norris and as in the very next possible opportunity overtakes Lance Stroll as well. So yeah, the undercut has well and truly worked there for George Russell. But I think it's a matter of time that Norris re-overtakes Russell and moves up into P2 there. So yeah. Norris within DRS range, and with DRS is gaining into turn 14. Uh, Lando Norris, wheel to wheel with George Russell, unable to overtake. We come down the back straight. Norris with DRS, it should be an easy moment to turn one. Is gaining, goes down the inside with a bit fresher tires than George Russell and moves up into P3, which will be a provisional P2 after Alex Albon pits. So yeah, Norris reclaims his second position after losing it to George Russell after the cycle of pit stops. Carlos Sainz coming into the pits, which promotes the Ferrari two further places up. Still, Lewis Hamilton is keeping ahead of Leclerc at the moment. Further back, we can see Max Verstappen doesn't seem to be as quick as he was in the sprint. Like the Red Bull, the characteristic we can say is at the start of the stint, they are quite quick, but as soon as the stint progresses, they seem to have a lot of tire wear and lose a lot of lap time and pace. Currently, Max is running in P9, which I think should be a provisional P6 after the cycle of pit stops are completed. Here we resume the battle between Leclerc and Norris, with Stroll in between as well. So I think Hamilton should be able to overtake Stroll as soon as possible because Stroll on an alternate strategy as compared to the other two can be a moving chicane. Let's see what he is able to do. With DRS, Lewis Hamilton in a Ferrari over Lance Stroll is gaining and goes down the inside of Lance Stroll and moves up into P5. But Stroll runs wide, and which gives the opportunity to Charles Leclerc. And Leclerc overtakes Stroll and now moves up into P4. So both the Ferraris working in perfect harmony there. Hamilton overtaking Stroll, and so is Charles Leclerc. Hamilton to P5 and Leclerc up to P6. The only driver in the top six yet to pit is Alex Albon. Kimi Antonelli trying to overtake uh, Nico Hulkenberg, and with DRS is able to do so. Kimi Antonelli, after losing quite a few places after the round of pit stops, is running still down in P13. He was chasing after Yuki Tsunoda at the end of the pit stops, but still has lost a lot of time because of being stuck behind traffic and slower cars. We are currently on lap 19 of 56. The gap between Piastri and Norris at the moment is 3.5 seconds. Norris has now overtaken Alex Albon, so the two McLarens are back into the first and second position. See, the track, weather radar seems to be absolutely clear at the moment, and unless and until there's a weather ambiguity, I think Lando Norris, it's difficult for him to catch up to Oscar Piastri. Okay, so Albon is in the pits now. It seems to be difficult for Norris to gain up to Oscar Piastri. We saw it in the main race in Australia as well, that Oscar Piastri, by the slightest of all margins, had a bit more advantage over Lando Norris in terms of the race pace, which is quite prominent here in Shanghai as well. So yeah, it seems that Oscar Piastri might run away with the win, but we never know. It's Formula One, and you cannot uh, negate any possibilities out of the door. So yeah, lap 20 of 56, and gap at front is 4.3 seconds. Just taking a break of 2 minutes. In the meantime, please don't forget to like the stream and subscribe the channel. Just 10 subscribers away from the target. It really helps and motivates me a lot. So yeah. Okay, so thank you for the patience there. In the meantime, I was on a break. The Ferraris have swapped position. Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. By the likes of it, even with a broken front wing, Charles Leclerc was able to keep up to the rear end of Lewis Hamilton. So Ferrari have decided to swap position because currently the gap between Leclerc and Russell is 1.1 seconds. And as soon as Leclerc is within DRS range, I think he might even be able to pass George because on the current stint, the McLarens are doing a 137.3 and Leclerc is on a 136.9. So the Ferraris at the moment seem to be quite rapid and quite happy on the set of hard tires. On the contrary, Lewis Hamilton doesn't seem to be a lot comfortable on these tires because he's lapping almost 5 tenths lower than his teammate. Let's see what lap time they can do on this lap. 37.2 for Oscar, 37.1 for George, 37.2 for Charles, and 37.3 for Hamilton. So yeah, Ferrari definitely a bit more quicker on this set of hard tires as compared to they were on a set of mediums. So yeah, they will be looking to overtake George Russell if possible and maybe move up a few places up to the podium one because in this season for the see it's the second race of the season, but still now Ferrari haven't got a podium yet. So yeah, the Scuderia would very much love to get a podium in this race. We see currently on the battle between Oli Behrman and Lance Stroll. Both of them haven't pitted. On board with Alex Albon now on a set of much fresher tires as compared to Pierre Gasly into the hairpin. Easy overtake for Alex Albon and moves up to P13. Thank you very much everyone who have tuned in. Please don't forget to like the stream and subscribe the channel. Your help and support will really mean and motivate me a lot. We are only just 10 subscribers away from the target, so we'll dearly love if we are able to achieve that target today itself. Out at front, between on the battle between Norris and Piastri. On the last lap, Piastri, in terms of lap time, gained almost a tenth over Lando Norris. Let's see what lap times they are able to achieve as we begin the next lap. Also, Piastri a 36.9. So a slight improvement in pace there for McLaren. I think they might have been said that the Ferraris are gaining and we might need to push here. Lando Norris 136.9 matching his teammate. George Russell a 37.3 and 37.3 for Leclerc and 37.1 for Hamilton. So and but crucially, Charles Leclerc is Hamilton radio. Okay, Hamilton is saying, give me some feedback, please, guys, of where I need to improve. Which is quite dangerous thing that he might not have been getting feedback till now because F1 almost works on feedback and not getting a feedback as a driver is quite catastrophic. But now he has been said you need to improve in turn 13 and sorry, turn 13 and turn 2. Yeah, that was a bit of tongue twister there. But crucially, as I was saying, Charles Leclerc is now within DRS range of George Russell. He just needs to stay within DRS range of maybe a lap or two, and then there you go. The overtake is well and truly on. Let's see how this battle pans out. As here is the Haas of Oli Behrman trying to overtake Lance Stroll, ghosting very deep, and in doing so, Lance Stroll is able to go switcheroo and moves up to P7 now. Taking a look at the rookie drivers, Behrman is running P8 currently. Then we have Antonelli, Hadja, Duvan, Lawson, and Bortoleto. That's the current battle of rookie drivers with Behrman, the leader of all of them. But yeah, yet to pit Oli Behrman. Lap 25 of 56 of this Chinese Grand Prix or the Snow Fest Grand Prix because a not Leclerc is a okay. So Leclerc is saying that the Mercedes have amazing traction out of turn 12 that is just before the start of the long back straight. So yeah. But crucially, as I was saying, Leclerc is now within DRS range of George Russell. Just maybe a lap or two if he's able to mount the pressure on Russell. I think the overtake is well and truly on there for Charles. The gap between the McLaren of Norris and Russell at the moment is 2 seconds. So yeah, If Leclerc is able to maintain the march on the last lap, he was 4 tenths quicker than Norris and 2 tenths quicker than Oscar Piastri. So if Leclerc is able to maintain the pace, I think a podium is well and truly up for grabs for Ferrari here. So yeah, lap 26 or 56 on the last lap. We will just be focusing more on the lap times here, which is gives us a more clearer indication of where the performance is gained and lost. 37-1 for Piastri, 37-3 for Norris, again losing 2 tenths. But the gap between Piastri and Norris is kind of stabilizing a bit between 4 seconds. On a lap, Norris is quicker. On a lap, Oscar Piastri is quicker. So yeah, they are just tumbling between the lap times there. George Russell on the last lap, 37-3, 36-9 for Leclerc, and 37-5 for Lewis. So yeah, the Ferrari of Leclerc seems to be in a much happier position on this set of hard tires. Again, in DRS, but still, as I said, overtaking. By the looks of this track looks to be one of the better tracks for overtaking. But what the main issue here is, before the overtaking zones, there are long radius corners. So when you are following a car into a long radius corner, that is a long, everlasting turn, you really tend to lose a lot of downforce because of the dirty air. So yeah, there are a lot of overtaking zones, but it is quite difficult for cars to follow behind another car. So yeah, Leclerc is still in P4. Lewis Hamilton now is falling into the clutches, not exactly, but falling out of reach from Charles Leclerc. The gap between these two Scuderias is now almost 2.6 seconds. So maybe a few setup changes have gone on into the Leclerc side of garage after the sprint race. Because in the sprint race, Leclerc was absolutely nowhere matching the pace of Lewis Hamilton there. In the meantime, please guys don't forget to like the stream. We currently only have 3 likes. If you're able to get to around 5 to 10 likes, I think it will be really helpful to help the stream reach even a wider number of audiences. As on the last lap, I think Lando Norris has pushed quite a lot. 8:36.7, that is the fastest lap of the race. On the contrary, Oscar Piastri did the 37-1. So yeah, Norris almost gaining by 4 tenths to Oscar on the last lap. Still, the gap between Russell and Leclerc is close to around 7 tenths. And the reason why Lewis Hamilton is constantly dropping is Leclerc, his teammate, has DRS over George Russell, which is helping him to drag along the way. But Lewis Hamilton, unfortunately, doesn't has any DRS assist, so that's why he's not able to catch up to the likes of Leclerc. The gap at the moment is 8 tenths. It's not reducing anymore at the moment. Yeah, my live coverage has just been struck. I don't know. The net has been absolutely catastrophic today, but yeah, still trying to cope up with all the live action with the help of the live driver tracker that we all have here. Again, see, there's like nothing much to comment at the moment. It's just like how soon Leclerc is able to make work of Russell and maybe catch after Lando Norris, which seems to be difficult at the moment. Norris again sets another fastest lap of the race, gains by a further 4 tenths over Charles Leclerc now. Lap 29 of 56 of the Chinese Grand Prix. We are now almost halfway done into this race, and still I think it's kind of turning out to be a boringish race because nothing much overtaking going on at the moment. Further back, I think Bortoleto has chucked in on a set of soft tires. Fastest sector 1 and fastest sector 2 for Bortoleto. I think it will be an easy fastest lap for him. Uh, Through the final corner, let's see what lap time Bortoleto does. As Charles Leclerc is now out of DRS range of George Russell, Bortoleto 35.7, 35.8, sorry, almost second, half a second faster than the leaders. On the last lap, Piastri 137.0 and a 36.5 for Lando. So yeah, Lando is surely catching up a bit on Oscar Piastri. Has gained around 8 tenths in the span of 3 to 4 laps. Okay, so there is a question from Juice there. Do you think Piastri going to win by 20 plus seconds? Mate, I don't think it might be possible because we have been focusing on the lap times, like from the time when Piastri and okay, so there's a confirmation for the fastest lap for Gabriel Bortoleto. After the round of pit stops, when Piastri and Norris have been P1 and P2, the gap between them has almost been stable between 4 seconds. I think the maximum it has gone is around 4.2 to 4.3 seconds. So yeah, seems to be quite difficult for Piastri to win by around 20 plus seconds. But if he's able to do so, I think it will be a huge statement in the terms of drivers' championship from that Piastri side of garage. To be honest, currently the gap is ever reducing. So yeah, I think maybe Norris is like, okay, let's go for it if we are able to overtake Piastri here because it was quite shocking. See, I know Piastri is a good driver, but considering Lando's current form in the past few races, it was quite shocking that he was not gaining and instead losing on Oscar. But now again on the last lap, gaining by around 4 tenths over Oscar Piastri. Here is Charles Leclerc replay. Oh, this is why Leclerc lost DRS over George Russell into the hairpin, had a snap of oversteer, and which cost him around 3 to 4, around a second. Charles Leclerc is now 2 seconds behind of George Russell at the moment, which is not what Ferrari would have hoped for when they switched the cars. But yeah, still a decent race, I will say, for Ferrari P4 and P5. Considering the sprint, they would be quite disappointed because they would have surely dreamed of an incoming win at the end of the sprint race. But yeah, P4, P5 still not absolutely disastrous at the moment. What's going on in the McLarens at front? Sector 1, Norris gained by a tenth. Sector 2, Norris gained by 2 tenths. The gap now is 2.5 seconds. Let's see what Norris is able to do here because I'm quite interested and intrigued to see if he catches Oscar. Will the papaya rules come into play, like hold position or do not overtake Oscar or something like that? Let's see. But yeah, one thing also for certain, my net is absolutely disastrous today. For the last 2 minutes, I've been just viewing the broken driving of Charles Leclerc not going anywhere. Man, that's absolutely hilarious. Lewis in the pits? Lewis is in the pits. Well, that's amazing. Just caught me off guard there. I was just enjoying the race. I thought there was like nothing much to commentate on. And we are Lewis Hamilton coming to the pit lane. Will this trigger the front runners to maybe go on and stop for a two-stop strategy? We'll find out. Yeah, Hamilton in the pits now. So yeah, let's see how the rivals react to this because yeah, uh, the front runners have kind of a pit window ahead of Esteban Ocon. Lewis pitted while he was in P5, and after the round of pit stops, he comes out in P6. So yeah, just one place lost, and on a fresher set of hard tires than Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, let's see if this triggers some moves out at front. It will be interesting to see now. What's the gap between the front at the moment? Uh, Lap 18 to go, and gap between Verstappen and Hamilton is 20.2 at the moment. And further ahead, gap between Norris and Piastri is 2.2, and 5.8 is the gap between Norris and Russell. So yeah, I don't think this is a move for the win, but maybe P5 or P4 is absolutely possible there for Lewis. Again, please don't forget to subscribe the channels. No subscriber increase today, which is absolutely hilarious. 10 subscribers to go. Now we are just 10 away from the target. If you're able to get there, it will be quite helpful, to be honest. Norris video. Because Norris is saying like yes, he will be able to make it on this set of tires till the end of the race. So I don't think that it is a two-stopper. On the last lap, Lewis like gained around nothing over Max Verstappen. Let's see on this newer lap how much he's able to gain. Also, there are chances of rain, class one rain, by the end of the race around the last 3-4 laps. So if it does rain that heavily, like class one or class two, Lewis will have a bit of advantage on the newer tires with a bit more grip as compared to the worn out hard tires. 19.6, the gap between Verstappen and Hamilton. In a few seconds' time, we'll see the gap as they cross the line. Piastri radio. Yes, Oscar is saying we can go to the end. So I don't think McLaren are thinking of one stop at the moment. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race, 35.8 for Lewis and 36.4 for Max. So only 7 tenths gain there, which is not at all enough for him to even catch up to Max for P5 there. So yeah, Piastri is confident that he can do a one stop. Norris is confident he can do a one stop. So I think yeah, at least the McLarens are going for a one stop and not making the same mistake they made last year at Monza. If you guys might remember that race, Piastri was leading and McLaren thought it will be a two stop, but out of nowhere, Charles Leclerc and Ferrari make the one stop work and was able to win the race. So yeah, anything can happen, but by the likes of it, I don't think McLaren are at all preferring the two stop strategy at the moment. Again, we'll keep an eye on Lewis's lap time. They don't seem to be absolutely lighting up the timing screen, to be honest. But still, yeah, let's see. Currently, we are on lap 40 of 56 for this Chinese Grand Prix. Uh, the gap out at front is 2.9 seconds now. So, yeah, Norris is gaining by a bit, but on the very next lap, Oscar Piastri opens up the gap. So, no gains done there at the outer front. Last lap, Verstappen was at 36.4. Lewis's lap time is a 35.4. So, on the last lap, Hamilton gained by a second, and we have 16 laps left in this race. So, yeah, At that pace, I think he might just be able to catch up to Max Verstappen, but further that, I don't think it's possible for Lewis. So yeah, the one stop at the moment seems to be the way to go. Um, the only way by which Lewis can gain an advantage is the tire drop off, because at the moment, the pace out at front is quite decent compared to the new tires of Lewis Hamilton. But still, we have 15 laps to go, and all the teams have been on this set of tires for almost the last 30 laps. So, by the end, last 5 to 6 laps, there is a possibility that the tires might drop off. But still, if the drivers drive with tire conservation mode, I don't think Lewis might be a threat. At the moment, fastest sector 1 and fastest sector 2 for Lewis. So, he's absolutely sending it all at the moment on this lap. And he has been gaining quite a lot. Let's see again what the lap time difference is. Max did a 36.1, Piastri did the 36.0, and on the last lap, Lewis did the 35.0. So again, another second gain there for Lewis, which I don't think is enough at the moment. But as the stint progresses and the tire wear kicks in for the front runners, because I don't think the tire wear is an issue for Lewis at the moment, nor is the issue of graining. But if tire wear kicks in from the front runners, I think Lewis might be in a shot for at least top four here. Might be able to overtake his teammate Charles Leclerc, but more than that, I think it's quite optimistic. Gap to the leaders 35.5. At the moment, track temperature is 32 degrees Celsius and air temperature is 26.8, and it's quite slightly windy, so the condition at the moment are like quite suitable for tires to go the long distance. With lower track and air temperature and not so much gust of wind, the tires might experience a lot less of a stress as compared to some normal situation. Okay, so yeah, Red Bull is saying it's a one stop, keep going, and we will not pit. So just keep going and keep pushing on. On this lap, Max Verstappen seems to have Lewis Hamilton undercover. Let's see again with how the lap time pans out. Max Verstappen on their last lap, 36.2, 36.3 for Oscar, and 35.5 for Lewis. So Lewis gaining by only 7 tenths there, which might not be enough for him to catch up to the likes of Russell or Leclerc. I think by the last two laps, we might see a battle for P5 between Hamilton and Verstappen, which is quite interesting to be honest. Verstappen Hamilton battles are always the ones we cherish. Like it's the OJ, the classic battle, which we all have seen in the era of Mercedes domination, where only Max Verstappen would be the driver who will be able to challenge Lewis. So yeah, let's see in a newer team for Ferrari, can we see that battle between Lewis and Max? As a track map just malfunctioned there because I very much believe that into turn 7 I saw Lewis running wide. So is Lewis actually ran wide, or I think that was just a malfunction from the track map? Uh, McLaren running 1 and 2 at the moment. Again, Oscar Piastri just improving, increasing the gap out at front. 4.5 seconds is the gap. George Russell was charging on a bit towards the McLaren, but now has stabilized his gap with 5 seconds behind them. Further back, Charles Leclerc is another 5 seconds behind George Russell. And Max Verstappen, who was looking to catch up to Charles Leclerc, is currently 3.5 seconds behind him and is making absolutely minor gains over Leclerc. Yeah. So for the near future, I don't see any overtakings at the moment. Just an eye on the Hamilton Verstappen lap time. 35.0 for Lewis and 36.1 for Max. So again, Lewis gaining by almost a second. 13 laps to go. The gap is 16 seconds. I don't think this might be enough of a pace for Lewis at the moment to catch up to the likes of Verstappen and Leclerc. Let's focus a bit further back. We have Esteban Ocon running in P7, Kimi Antonelli P8, Alex Albon P9, and Oli Behrman is rounding up the final points position. Uh, R has yet to make a pit stop. I think they are not yet to make a pit stop. So yeah, quite an amazing strategy for Haas there. P7 and P10 will be an absolutely dream race for them. How much point is this? Verstappen radio? Just keep it up, Max. Obviously, everybody's trying to hang it out now. Don't know what can happen at the end. So yeah, Red Bull and the other top five drivers have well and truly committed to the one stop now. So yeah, they don't have anywhere to go rather than sticking to the strategy and hanging it out until the end of the race. As I was saying, yeah, how much points are Haas scoring today? 8, 6, and 1. 7 points for Haas is absolutely vital for them in the Constructors' Championship, where they seemed to be the slowest car in the first race and didn't have a lot of hope coming to this race as well. So, yeah, good performance there for Haas. Alex Albon for Williams, again, the consistent man this season, scoring two crucial points in the Constructors' standings. Kimi Antonelli hasn't been performing quite great. Like in the last race, he was I think he finished P4 starting P16. Just a second, the light has gone, so I might need to turn off my original Thank you for the patience there. That was a feisty radio from Charles Leclerc. Leclerc's engineer came up on the radio, I'm sorry, and said, Charles, we are losing some time into turn two. Just for this lap, try not taking the curb. And what was the reply of Charles Leclerc? Nope, that's it. Well, that was a really feisty radio from Leclerc. On the last lap, again, I think the charge of Lewis had now just halted kind of 36-1 for Max and a 35-0 for Lewis again. So again gaining by a further second, but still I think he might run out of laps at this pace to catch up to Max Verstappen. And again on the radio, Gianpaolo Lambiase, Max Verstappen's race engineer, came on the radio and said, Max, this is the one stopper now. We have to commit to it and just keep pushing. So a bit of words of motivation from GP to his driver. So what we're talking about is Has, considering how slow they were in the first race in pre-season testing, and they okay weather update possible class one half on the last lap only. So a possible class one rain at the last lap, which might not be as interesting if we have a rain 5 to 6 laps before the end. I think the race will turn on its head, but at the moment, I think on the last lap the drivers will be able to negate with the rain because right now out of track it's getting quite darker and darker by every passing lap. But yeah, as I was talking about, the likes of Haas, Ocon in P7 and Behrman in P10, quite amazing results for them in terms of the constructors championship as well. But the RBs are running only P14 and P16. They were absolutely rapid in qualifying and seemed to be an easy point scoring race for them. But yeah, I'm not sure what has gone wrong. We will need to review after the race. Maybe the strategy, maybe some. I think it's a strategic error for RB. Running P14 and P16 is not absolutely what they would have hoped for. Kimi Antonelli, as I was saying, had an absolutely amazing race in Australia, but like was kind of stuck behind Yuki Tsunoda for quite a long time and then lost a lot of time because of being stuck behind the likes of Gabriel Bortoleto and Nico Hulkenberg. So yeah, running in P8 is 1.9 seconds behind Ocon and will dearly love to at least move up to P7, which will be at least a decent result for him considering it's only second race. We can talk about Carlos Sainz, who has been absolutely anonymous in this race, to be honest with you. When I saw his name, oh, I remembered, yes, Carlos Sainz is also racing, because before that, I absolutely forgot that Carlos Sainz was in this race as well. Carlos Sainz, I think he will be quite disappointed because coming into the season, many people hope that Carlos Sainz will absolutely wipe the floor of Alex Albon, because Alex previously had teammates in face of Sargent and Latifi, which, to be honest, weren't quite great drivers as compared to the likes of maybe Sainz. But Sainz hasn't been performing to the level everyone expected. Maybe he might take a bit more time to settle in and dial into the new team. So yeah, Sunoda Radio. Yuki in the pits now. I don't know why he is. It's a front wing damage for Yuki there. Not what we would have wanted, but yeah, front wing damage for Yuki and the pits. But as I was saying, a bit of disappointment there for Carlos Sainz. Not the start he would have been hoping for. Not absolutely terrible, but yeah, still below par start for Carlos Sainz to his life at Williams. Currently running in P13, and what's the gap between him and Alex? Alex is 52 seconds of the leader, and so yeah, 13 seconds gap. Not absolutely a huge margin, but still not what we would have hoped from Carlos Sainz. In the Alpine battle, we have Pierre Gasly running in P11, who is 5 seconds off Oli Behrman of from scoring points. On the last lap, he gained by around a 10. So yeah, Behrman seems to have Gasly covered at the moment. What about Doohan? What's the gap between him and Gasly? 59 and 60. So yeah, only 9 seconds gap between him and Gasly, which is quite good, to be honest with you, because as I was saying at the start of the stream, it was expected that Doohan might lose his seat in like 3 to 4 lap. 3 to just a second, Norris radio. I think Norris has kind of an issue with the brakes there. Not absolutely huge, but still struggling a bit with the brakes. That's what the info is. But as I was talking about, who was it? Jack Doohan. Yeah, it was expected that he might be kicked off the team by round 4 or 5 because people expected he won't perform much better. But looking from his whole season at the moment, he has been matching Gasly mostly in qualifying and in the races as well. He is able to keep his nose clean, which we find out in today's race because the gap between him and Pierre is almost 9 seconds, which isn't quite massive considering it's only this third race for Jack Doohan and a noise radio. Okay, so a long brake pedal issue there for Lando Norris. Shouldn't be an issue because we only have now 7 laps to go and is almost 7 seconds ahead of George Russell. So yeah, not a big issue there for Norris. But as I was saying, a good season till now for Jack Doohan, almost matching Gasly today in terms of race pace, is even marginally quicker than Gasly in terms of quali pace as well. So yeah, he has been able to protect his seat at least for a few seasons now. Sorry, few races, not few seasons. That was my bad. Further back, we have the green dustbins, the green wheelie bins in the likes of Bortoleto and Hulkenberg. Nothing much they can do. Like they are driving an absolutely slow kind of car, which has absolutely no performance in it. I was still quite surprised seeing Hulkenberg scoring a P7 in Australia, which might, I think, be the only points that the team scores. But yeah, nothing much to talk about there. Just that Bortoleto, I think, at a moment was 20 to 25 seconds behind Hulkenberg and is now ahead of him. Maybe a strategic error or maybe an extra pit stop there for Hulkenberg. I'm not sure. But the main talking point here is Liam Lawson, who is currently 75 minus 17. What's that? No, it's 60, 75, 65. Just a second. Norris ready once again. Okay, so again, Norris is like experiencing a brake issue. It's not kind of a issue. It's like his the brake pedal is a bit long. So like if you want to get 50% capacity of the brake, Norris might now need to brake at 60% capacity. That's the issue. But as I was saying about Lawson, 58 seconds behind his teammate in 50 laps, which is not what Red Bull have signed in from. I know he's running in traffic and all that stuff, but still, not at all ideal race for Lawson, and not at all ideal season for Lawson at the moment. Currently in P16, is gaining on Hadja, but still, almost he has been beaten by an RB. That is, the sister team driver has beaten him in the main team car. So yeah, not at all ideal there for Lawson, with who might quite possibly lose his race it by the season break, which is I feel if he's not able to step up his game by at least around round 7 or 8, I think it's career over for Lawson. Not career over. I think he might just be demoted to RB for like a season or two. They might give chance to Yuki Tsunoda if they want to. Haja is mate moving so late, mate. Hadja complaining about Jack Doohan there about moving under braking. But yeah, Lawson needs to perform into the next 6 to 7 races if he wants to stay any chances of staying into Formula One there. We have 10-second time penalty for Jack Doohan for forcing another driver off the track. So yeah, right now I was praising Doohan for his good racecraft, but there you go, 10 seconds into the face for Jack Doohan. Norris Radio. Okay, so Norris's engineer is saying him that we would rather finish second than not at all finishing. That means the issue might be a bit more huge as it seems at the moment. Like Norris has been said to not absolutely push at the moment, which might even further drastify the issue. So yeah, the issue seems to be huge, and Norris has been said to not slow down, but not to push absolutely to the limit at the moment. Focusing further back on the battle for P4 between Verstappen and Leclerc. From the past few laps, Leclerc's tires have been dropping off quite a bit, and Verstappen has been gaining like around a second or half a second per lap over Charles Leclerc now. Okay, so Charles Leclerc is not even happy on the radio. He's saying that you have said me 10 to 15 times that I am losing turn 10 and turn 12. Leclerc, for this last 5 laps, will dearly love to hold Max Verstappen as much as possible because P4 is not what Ferrari would have loved, but still, I will say P4 is a decent result considering there are only two McLarens in front of him and a Russell of Russell. Sorry, Mercedes of George Russell there. 5 laps remaining. Lewis Hamilton is not gaining now, it seems. Last lap, he gained like around only 7 tenths on Max Verstappen. As I said, his pace is good, but it is not enough for him to catch up to Max Verstappen by the end of the race. Last lap, Oscar Piastri a 35.6 and a 35.6 for Norris as well. So yeah, I think Norris. It will be difficult for Norris considering the brake issues he has to catch up to the likes of Piastri. And it will be, I think, quite difficult for Leclerc as well to keep Max at bay, considering Leclerc has front wing damage, degrading tires, and also a ever quick Max Verstappen. Let's see how this battle pans out. Verstappen is now a lot closer to Charles Leclerc at the moment. With DRS, let's see what Max Verstappen is able to do on the back straight. Verstappen is gaining. Lando, you need to limit your brake pressure, says his radio engineer. Is gaining. Tries to go down inside, but still stays back. Compromises Leclerc's line. Leclerc runs a bit deep into the hairpin, which will give Max Verstappen an advantage around the main front straight. Here is Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen starting another lap. Verstappen with DRS is a lot closer this time round. Is gaining. Leclerc covers the inside, but Verstappen goes round the outside, wheel to wheel with Charles Leclerc into turn 1 and turn 2, which will become eventually an inside line for turn 3. But with a switcheroo, Max Verstappen going round the outside to turn 3, It's a drag race now, traction race, better traction for Verstappen, and overtakes Leclerc and moves up into P4. Charles Leclerc now comes back to Max Verstappen, goes for a dive bomb into turn 4, but yeah, Max has it covered and protects his P4 now. So still, again, Max being Max, if it's a bad race for Max, he's still finishing P4, which is honestly a really, really decent position in terms of the Drivers' Championship. Like if we consider Lando as his forefront rival at the moment, he's only losing like around 6 points in a terrible race for him as well. So yeah, again a good showing out there for Max Verstappen as we have the final 3 laps of the race underway. On board with George Russell, who is currently like 8 tenths behind Lando Norris. So I think Mercedes and Russell will be quite happy with the performance at the moment. P3 in the first race, P3 in the second race. Not the fastest car out there, but still scoring decent points and finishing best of the top two. A decent result in the sprint for Russell as well. So yeah, Russell just bringing out his mystic consistency vibe like he had for the 2022 season. If you guys might remember that season, it was like Russell almost finished for in the top five for like around 12 to 13 races in a row, which is what he needs to do in this close, tight battle for the championship. Because it's not always the fastest car that wins the championship in such kind of seasons. It's like the car that is the most consistent and bagging in the most amount of points possible every weekend. So yeah, a great start of the season for George Russell there. Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, the gap between the two is now down to just 5 seconds. So yeah, drastically Leclerc is losing a lot of lap time, lap by lap. On the last lap, 32, Hamilton gained by around 2.4 seconds over Charles Leclerc. So at this pace, I think on the last lap, Lewis might still be able to overtake Charles Leclerc and move up to P5. We have just 2 laps to go now, and the gap at front is now 4.5 seconds now. So I think Lando is now slowing down a bit, considering the brake issues he has. So yeah, which is sensible because you're not gonna win a race in 2 laps, considering the 5 seconds gap. But you can very easily throw away a P2, which is quite crucial in the drivers' championship as Lando increases his lead out at front. So yeah, crucial for McLaren, crucial for Norris for him to bring it home as safe as possible. Hamilton has now smelled blood on the last lap. First sector quickest for Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, Lewis will know that his teammate ahead of him has a bit of tire issue and will really love to move up to P5, which will be at least a good consolation from him, considering he won the sprint and is like kind of nowhere near the win in this main race. The gap is down to 4 seconds now. I think it is just a lap short of maybe overtaking Leclerc. If he might have had a lap extra, then I think Lewis would have been very much easily be able to overtake Leclerc now. But I think he might be a lap short. As Oscar Piastri now begins the final lap of the race, uh, the gap is now 3.7 seconds out in front. Oscar Piastri on the last lap was around 3 seconds quicker than Lando Norris. So I think Lando Norris might have been said on the radio just to slowly and steadily bring it home because if he encounters a huge issue like a brake failure, the likes of Russell and Verstappen are there behind waiting to gain an advantage on any such situation there. So yeah, Norris slowly and steadily bringing the car home. The gap between Russell and Norris is now down to only 3.4 seconds. But we are now into the final few sectors of the race with only a one major braking zone left. Gap between Hamilton and Leclerc is 3.1 seconds now. I think the battle there is also sorted. So yeah, the McLarens begin the final lap now. Yeah, on board with Lando Norris, he's lifting and coasting quite a lot and replicating his engineer's command that don't put a lot of pressure on the brakes, which might cause brake failure as well. So yeah, Norris is almost lifting like around 30 to 40 meters before the braking zone, which is still not a lot considering the advantage he has. As further back, we focus at Oscar Piastri, the man from Australia who was in contention to win the first race of the season, but unfortunately, rain washed away his hopes. In the sprint, he had a hopes of win, but Ferrari washed away his hopes. But now, for the third time in his Formula One career, it will be Oscar Piastri stepping up on the top shelf of the podium. He said this weekend that yeah, last weekend was not the ideal one, but this weekend he will try to focus a bit more. Oscar Piastri, for the third time in his Formula One career, rounding out the final corner and wins in Shanghai. A good drive there from Oscar Piastri. Absolutely flawless. I think he wasn't seen on the screen for a lot of time. Here is Lando Norris nursing a brake issue and finishes his in P2. Started P3, finishes P2, and increases the lead out in the Drivers' Championship. George Russell, again for the second race in a row, finishes P3. Max Verstappen, after losing a few places at the start, finishes a well deserved P4. And the Ferraris, after huge quick pace into the sprint race, finished P5 and P6. Further back, a huge distance adrift, further 24 seconds back, we have Esteban Ocon finishing P7 for Haas, which is an absolutely amazing result for the team from USA. P8 is Antonelli, P9 is Albon for Williams, and Ollie Behrman for the first time this season scores points with P10. But an absolutely brilliant weekend there for Oscar Piastri and for McLaren. Piastri finishing P2 in the sprint and now winning the main Grand Prix at China. So scoring how much points? 32, scoring 32 points, and on the contrary, Lando scoring 20 points. So yeah, bringing the gap in the drivers' championship by 15 points down. There is Oscar Piastri for you. A good weekend for McLaren, a 1-2 at the moment, and scoring 43 points for the constructors as well. Piastri Radio, yeah, mega job, guys. As always, Piastri calm and composed on the radio, thanking the team for the efforts, and yeah, focusing ahead. There's a long season left now. So that's it for the race, everyone. Thank you very much for all your support throughout the stream. It really means a lot to me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. We are, like as I said at the start of the stream, only 10 subscribers away from the target. So yeah, if you are able, noise video, well, mate. Sorry about the break issue at the end, but yeah, still a decent result for Norwich. You can say damage limitation in the drivers' championship, scoring P2, maximum points for the team. Good team effort there from McLaren. As I said, thank you for all the support throughout the stream. Please don't forget to like the channel, subscribe the channel. As I said, we are only 10 subscribers away from the target. So yeah, if we are able to get there by the end of this week, it will really mean a lot. And Kimi Antonelli is the driver of the day. I don't understand why, but yeah, that's quite shocking to be honest. How has Antonelli won the driver of the day? Yes, uh, we didn't see a lot of Kimi Antonelli in this whole race, but yeah, deserved the driver of the race, driver of the day in the last race, wins it today. So yeah, Kimi Antonelli in P8, McLaren 1-2, and it's a 5-6 for Ferrari. So a huge lead in the constructor championship now for McLaren, who were only a point ahead of Mercedes going to this race. Now gaining 27 points on Mercedes and increasing the lead to 28 points now. Next up, next week there's no race, and in 2 weeks' time, we have the next race at Suzuka, which obviously the home race for Yuki, and traditionally has been good for McLaren. We all know that McLaren suits every track, but the fast, high-speed corners are the one which it likes the most. So yeah, Next up is Suzuka. If you guys want, I let's run through the race. What has happened at the start? Piastri on pole, Russell alongside him. Russell trying to overtake Oscar Piastri for the lead, unable to do so, and in doing so, lost a place to Lando Norris. And also, yeah, Verstappen starting P4, lost two places to the Ferraris of Hamilton and Leclerc, but eventually was able to overtake them because of increasing drag on the tires of Leclerc and Hamilton. Swap between the Ferrari drivers of Leclerc and Hamilton because of much better pace shown by Charles Leclerc. Good strategy from the Haas, scoring points with 7th and 10th. And that's it. I think that's the whole race for you. Not a lot of action going on, but still a few minor battles left, right, and center. Oscar Piastri drove a brilliant race. Oscar Piastri drove a brilliant race. Finishing P1 was absolutely flawless from the start to finish, and he absolutely deserved the win. Not absolutely miles ahead of Lando Norris throughout the whole race, but still like was managing a gap of around 3 to 4 seconds throughout the whole race. Lando Norris gained the position at the start and then surprisingly was not able to make any inroads on Oscar Piastri. We all know, see, like it's not absolutely easy to choose from Piastri and Norris in terms of the race. We have seen in the past if Piastri is up front, it's Norris who is not able to overtake him. And if Norris is leading, Piastri is not able to overtake him. So it's like more of a qualifying game in McLaren. Whichever driver qualifies ahead, it's is the one who is winning. We all saw that Norris has been a good qualifier in McLaren, so has had better results as compared to Piastri. But in this race, Piastri with the pole was almost able to keep Norris behind for the whole race. So yeah, good race for McLaren. George Russell, I think, has been an underdog this season. To be honest, P3 is not at all an underdog performance. But when there is a lot of talks about the McLarens, the Ferraris, the Red Bulls, maybe Antonelli as well. Russell slowly and steadily under the radar has scored two podiums and a P4 in the sprint, which is quite a good set of performance. If Mercedes are like able to bring an upgrade that is a bit more bringing them closer to the likes of McLaren, I think Russell is well and truly there to challenge for the championship lead. So yeah, good performance there for George. Further back, talking of Max, who has finished P4. Started P4 at the start of the race, lost like around two places to the Ferrari in the very first turn, first and second corner, but kept his calm, kept his cool, was running in P6 for most of the race. But yeah, with increasing deck, Lewis pitted for a new set of tires, and Charles Leclerc almost was like losing 2 seconds per lap at the end. So Verstappen gaining up to P4. Leclerc, who lost a front wing piece at the start, surprisingly didn't change it for the whole span of the race and was still able to make it to the end at a decent pace. Is P5 Lewis Hamilton for the most part of the race, who was ahead of Leclerc, but eventually Ferrari swapped the cars like around 20 laps to go in chance of chasing after George Russell, and Lewis Hamilton also pitted for a newer set of tires as the race progressed with because of the increasing drag, as I said. So yeah, P5 for Leclerc, P6 for Hamilton. A good weekend for Hamilton in all, a sprint pole and a sprint win. Also, P6 is a much better result when you compare it to what he got in Australia. That is just a single point with P10. So yeah, still he won't be very satisfied, but not absolutely horrific to be honest. As I said, Esteban Ocon P7, an absolutely amazing strategy there from Haas, starting P11, finishing P7, and finishing ahead of a lot of quicker cars. Let's take a look at Piastri's interview at the moment. Oscar has been asked, is this the start for your title campaign? I just don't understand the thing why after every race we are talking about the championship. It's only the second round, and I think championship talks usually start around round 10 to round 11, where there's a clear, quick driver and a clear chasing driver. Because at the moment, The pace is absolute ding dong between the likes of Norris and Piastri. Norris winning the first, Piastri winning the second. So yeah, if it pans out this way, I think see, there's just two possibilities this season. Either we have all the drivers challenging for the championship, and the most consistent driver wins out, or we have the inter-team championship battle between Norris and Piastri. But one thing is for certain that we are gonna have a championship fight this season. And thank you very much for the subscription there. It really means a lot. Yeah. Norris thanking the crowd there as he has a 116 Chinese heritage, considering it's his home race as well. So yeah. As I was saying, we are discussing the race rundown. Talking of Esteban Ocon, I think it was a good race for the likes of Haas, scoring 6 points in that slowish kind of car is really a good result, and the one that Haas would absolutely take it. Oli Behrman also scoring a point. Good race, clean race. As I said, Oli Behrman is a driver who struggles a bit more in the wet weather, but as soon as it's dry weather, I think he's definitely one of the quicker rookies on the current grid after Antonelli maybe. So a good race for them. Kimi Antonelli in the Mercedes finishing P8. That's the absolutely polar opposite of Behrman. I think as soon as he trains, I think Antonelli unleashes the inner Senna of him and is absolutely rapid in the wet weather conditions. In dries, maybe lacks a bit more experience in tire management and overtaking, but still P8 scoring points for the second race in a row. Again, a good drive from him. Also talking of Alex Albon, P9 for the Williams. Again, a good result, scoring points. Fifth in the first race, 2 points here. Good race for Williams. Further back, the teams that didn't score points. Alpine, who at the start of the season we thought will be the best of the rest after Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and McLaren, finishing P11 and P16. Obviously, Jack Doohan with a 10-second penalty for moving under braking. Pierre Gasly only 6 seconds adrift of the points, which is still quite a lot in terms of the Formula One context. So yeah, a lot of work done to be done there from the likes of Alpine. Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso retired at the start of the race because of a brake issue. Lance Stroll, who again I think seemed to be in a decent touch, finished P12. Not absolutely huge, but still a decent race from him. Again, if you guys might have tuned in throughout the whole stream, talking of Carlos Sainz, not an absolutely okay Russell interview here. Yeah, well done to McLaren. Seems to be quite happy with the P3 George Russell. Yeah, let's discuss further ahead. Carlos Sainz, not the start he would have been hoping for his start of life at Williams, but still not absolutely horrific, finishing P13, and how much behind is from Albon. 20 seconds behind from Albon, still a decent race, and will definitely love to bounce back in the upcoming rounds. Further back, we have Isaac Hadjar, who is the lead RB because of Yuki Tsunoda encountering a front wing issue, front wing damage. Then we have Liam Lawson, who I think we talked about a lot in the stream. Next race is his chance to prove because he has traditionally raced a lot around the Suzuka circuit in the Super Formula, which is almost conducted at the Suzuka track. So yeah, next race, if he's not able to perform, I think his career will be under a lot of threat from Yuki, who has been performing quite great. And yeah, the last two of the proper finishes, like Sonoda is last because of front wing issue, but both Vettel and Hulkenberg in a green wheelie win. What else they could have done? At least they finished the race. That's what I is the positive. But yeah, that's it for the stream, guys. Thank you very much for all the support. We'll now bring out the end screen, and yeah, thank you for all the support for the stream. It really, really, really means a lot. So yeah, let's run through the drivers order at the moment very quickly in our traditional way. It's Piastri, Norris, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Ocon, Antonelli, Albon, Bayman, Gasly, Stroll, Sainz, Hadjar, Lawson, Doohan, Bottas, Hulkenberg, and Sonoda. And DNF was Fernando Alonso. So, yeah. Thank you very much for all the support throughout the stream. Thank you very much for all your support throughout the stream. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, see you guys for the Japanese Grand Prix from the what's the date? I think it's 4th to 6th April 2025. Until then, thank you for all the support. Please don't forget to like, subscribe. The predictions video will be out like around Saturday or Sunday, so be sure to subscribe the channel so that you don't miss any of the new videos and updates. Thank you for the support and have a great day ahead.